Breaking news. Things are heating up behind the scenes at the Philadelphia Eagles, and will likely have to deal with a few changes before the season kicks off. Howie Roseman is working day and night to get this team in shape, and with him in charge, I feel a lot more confident. We're the reigning Super Bowl champions, and that's amazing, but Nick Sirianni's squad will need to grind hard to get back there again. Man, honestly, I believe we can do it. We've got top-tier players and a world-class structure. I believe we're going to Super Bowl 60. If you believe it too, smash that like button. And if you can, write it out loud. Go Birds. I believe. Asante Samuel Jr. remains one of the most intriguing names available on the free agent market, and the Eagles could be a logical landing spot. The former Chargers cornerback is still unsigned heading into training camp, and the lack of movement has raised a lot of eyebrows, especially in Philadelphia, where corner depth is still a legitimate question mark. Samuel Jr., the son of former Eagles standout Asante Samuel Sr., carries a recognizable name and a track record that deserves serious attention. And while his medical history has created some understandable hesitancy around the league, the upside might just be too good to pass up. Let's break this down. First off, Samuel Jr. is only 25 years old. That's a major advantage for any team looking for a long-term contributor. We're not talking about a veteran trying to squeeze out one last paycheck. He's still in his athletic prime. The former second-round pick out of Florida State had some impressive years in Los Angeles. He's logged 47 starts in 50 career games, and over that span, he's tallied 37 pass breakups. In terms of instincts, ball skills, and technique, this guy checks a lot of boxes. The PFF metrics from his last full season back that up. 73.9 overall grade, 75.6 in coverage, ranking him among the top 35 corners in football. That's starter-level quality, no question. Now, here's where it gets tricky. Samuel Jr. played just 4 games in the 2024 season before a shoulder injury sidelined him. After that, he underwent off-season surgery, not just on the shoulder but also on his neck due to stinger symptoms. That combination naturally raises concerns for any organization considering a deal. Neck injuries are serious, especially for a position that requires so much physicality and quick twitch movement. But if he clears medical checks, one of which was reportedly scheduled for this month, he could absolutely return to form and be a huge pickup. And let's not ignore the legacy factor here. His father made his name in this city. He understands the pressure, the pride, and what it means to wear that midnight green. You can't measure that kind of connection on a stat sheet. But there's another factor complicating this potential reunion: the Miami Dolphins. There were rumblings that Miami was interested in signing him, which made some sense given their rosters.
So, if Miami is out, and they very well might be, Philadelphia becomes an even more attractive option. The Eagles still have serious questions at the outside cornerback spot opposite Quinyon Mitchell. We know Mitchell's locked in on one side, but who lines up across from him? Khalil Ringo? Adoree Jackson? Vic Fangio has been experimenting, even sliding Cooper DeJean outside occasionally in the spring, though they seem to prefer him in the slot. That group has talent, but there's uncertainty, and that's where a guy like Samuel Jr. could slot in as a stabilizing presence. The depth chart is filled with potential, but it's thin on proven production. You've got guys like Eli Ricks, a 4th-round pick in McWilliams, and Tarek Castro-Fields, who, let's be honest, looks more like a practice squad option than a viable starter. BJ Mays might turn into a quality slot defender, but he's not an answer on the outside. So when you really assess this secondary, there's an opportunity here. Bringing in a player with Samuel Jr.'s skill set would add competition, push the younger guys, and give the Eagles insurance if Ringo or Jackson falter early in the year. There's also the matter of cost. With the market drying up and no major suitors stepping forward, Howie Roseman might be able to get him on a value deal. That's how championship rosters are built, not just by landing stars, but by finding guys with upside at the right price. Think about it. This front office has made a living off of smart, low-risk bets on talented players coming off injuries. If the medicals check out and the price is right, there's no reason not to consider it. Now let's talk about the context of this current roster. This isn't a team in rebuild mode or even transition. The Eagles are defending Super Bowl champions. They've got one of the deepest and most respected rosters in the NFL, and ESPN's rankings over the last few weeks reflect just how dominant this group is. Saquon Barkley is listed as the best running back in the league. A.J. Brown, #1 wide receiver. On the offensive line, both Lane Johnson and Jordan Mailata were ranked in the top 5 at their position. Landon Dickerson, top 5 interior lineman. That's elite company, and those guys are all Eagles. Jalen Hurts might be the most disrespected star in the league right now, coming in at number 9 in ESPN's quarterback rankings. He should be higher. This guy is one of the most clutch players in the NFL, a Super Bowl winner who outdueled Patrick Mahomes not once but twice. His leadership, his toughness, and his ability to perform in big moments should count for more than fantasy stats or gaudy passing numbers. The league is starting to catch on, but for anyone watching closely, it's clear Jalen Hurts is the real deal, and he's the heartbeat of this franchise. The bigger picture here is that the Eagles are loaded. But in today's NFL, even the best teams need to keep stacking talent, especially at positions like corner, where injuries and matchups can dictate your entire season. Bringing in Asante Samuel Jr. wouldn't just be a legacy move or a feel-good story. It could be a critical piece of depth and competition at a key position. So now I'll leave this with you. Should the Eagles seriously pursue Asante Samuel Jr. as a potential addition to this cornerback room? Does his upside outweigh the injury concerns? What do you have to say about it? Let's pick up where we left off, because this isn't just a hypothetical anymore. The longer Samuel Jr. remains unsigned, the more real this possibility becomes. And while fans might wonder why a team like Philadelphia, already boasting a championship roster, would entertain a move like this, the answer is simple. This team is not standing still. Howie Roseman has built this thing with a relentless mindset, always looking for ways to improve, to insulate this roster against injuries, and to keep the pressure on internal competition. That's how you win in today's NFL. And make no mistake, cornerback is still one of the most fragile spots on this team. If someone like Ringo or Jackson doesn't step up, the whole secondary can become vulnerable real fast. Let's say the Eagles don't make this move. What happens if injuries hit? What happens if a rookie corner like McWilliams isn't ready for primetime snaps? You're putting a lot of responsibility on Quinyon Mitchell to carry a unit that could quickly fall into bend and break territory. Bringing in a veteran like Samuel Jr., a player who's been tested, who's shown he can produce against top-level competition, and who has NFL bloodlines, isn't just a luxury move. It's insurance. It's planning ahead. That's what winners do. That's what this front office is known for. And the value piece can't be overstated. We're not talking about an 8-figure annual deal here. We're talking about a guy coming off a down year who knows he has something to prove. That's the type of player who comes in hungry, focused, and ready to grind. That's what you want on a team full of championship expectations. A one-year deal, team-friendly, with minimal guaranteed money? That's not just affordable, it's smart football economics. Let's also touch on what Samuel Jr. actually brings to the field when he's healthy. He's got that elite click-and-close ability. He doesn't panic when the ball's in the air. And his footwork, especially on the boundary, is top tier. Those sand workouts we've seen him doing this offseason, that's all about explosiveness and balance. He's putting in the work, trying to show teams that he's ready to contribute. And here's the kicker. His anticipation and ability to read the quarterback make him a perfect fit for Vic Fangio's scheme, which thrives on disguise, discipline, and savvy DB play. If Fangio sees him as a fit, there's no reason to think Howie won't at least explore the option. Meanwhile, let's zoom out and look at the big picture around the league. The NFC East isn't